Yeah, Tom, alcoholic. I am from New Hampshire, but I've lived in Colombia now like 3 years. It's been a really long time since I've spoken at an AA meeting. Been coming to AA for a while, since 2011. And when I first started coming to AA, well, the first meeting I went to, I just wasn't really paying attention and didn't really care too much. I didn't really know what it was. I just know, like, I was trying to like stop drinking, but like, and so I was just like, go to AA, but I didn't really know like what AA was. I had no idea. And so I came in and just thought it was like some kind of weird cult that they kept saying like God and like higher power. And I was like, well, I'm not going to do this. I mean, I thought it was absurd. And I just walked right out. But I was in like a lot of pain. Like one of my old sponsors said I was on. He always used to say this, and I'm just gonna plagiarize him. I was on fire with pain, and things were just getting worse. I mean, like things were bad when I was drinking, and I knew I had to stop drinking, and so I did stop drinking, but things were like getting worse, or like my mind was getting worse. And I just didn't think there was, when I came back to AA after that first meeting, I don't know, like 9 months after that, during the 9 months after that first meeting passed, like things kept getting worse and worse, and just I couldn't be a person. Like nothing was good. And I couldn't figure out like why, but there was nothing. I didn't enjoy doing anything, because before, I guess when I was drinking, it was the thing that helped me just be a person. It was the thing that filled up the time, or like my entertainment, or made me feel comfortable so I could talk to other people, and just made me feel like myself. Like the only time I felt like myself was when I was like drinking or drunk. And it took away the fear, because everything, like high school or before elementary school, ever since like I was a kid, not like always, but at some point when I was like a kid, I don't know, 10 or something, just this fog of fear just set in and just totally guided everything I did. And I was like so terrified of what other people thought, or that I was not going to be good at something, or that I couldn't do something that I wanted to do. And just, I don't know, I was trying to put my mind into things to just get away from that fear. And alcohol was super good at getting away from that fear. Like I wasn't afraid of anything if I was drunk. So I knew I couldn't drink anymore. I was at like university or whatever, and so fortunate, but so ungrateful to be able to attend a university and just totally take it for granted. And I just I was like fucking up pretty bad and had to like drop out of school or whatever. But I was just on fire with pain. I was just on fire with pain. Like I had to stop because it just wasn't working. And my not that it matters that much, but I mean, my father he's been sober for a long time, and maybe my mom might have some issues with like alcohol too. So there's that. And I just felt like, I don't know why, just someone said stop drinking, and so I did. Okay, like maybe this is the problem. I stopped drinking, but that wasn't the problem. The drinking was the symptom of a much larger problem. Drinking was my solution to the problem, and I took away that solution. And so things got worse. And so I went to AA and then figured out what AA was and wanted nothing to do with it. So I left and things continued to get worse. And I didn't drink again. I don't know why. Luck or the grace of God or higher power, or what people will say now that I do believe, and it makes sense to me now, but it didn't make much sense back then. But things got to this point where I just decided I literally had nothing else. I had no other options. Nothing felt good. Like I said, I'll just say it again, on fire with pain, no solution. And so I went back to AA and I was like, okay, I don't believe in God. I don't think this is going to work, but I had no other options. I was totally just brought to a place where I was willing to try it. I was like, okay, I am so toast that I'll just try out this AA thing. I don't think it's going to work, but I'll try it. So I went back and so in that meeting, it was the Tuesday night young people's meeting in Portsmouth, New Hampshire in September of 2011. And it was like, I don't know, just after the meeting, I listened to the meeting and actually the guy speaking, I don't know, made me want to drink again. I was like, maybe I should just drink again, because just like his story had the opposite effect in terms of like, that sounded awesome, I want to go party. And so, but I didn't. And then after the meeting, I don't know, there's just this guy started talking. He's like, hey, I was like, hey, what's up? And I was just like, I didn't know anything about it. Like, I was just like, will you sponsor me? Because I just I couldn't like evaluate like which of these people could, like, that guy's cool, he's got like cool hair, or like I like the band t-shirt, like I'll have that guy be my sponsor. Like what he said, it didn't matter what he said. I don't care what anyone said. There's the fact that he would talk to me and I was like so socially unable to interact with other people. Like I was just like, will you sponsor me? This is like, and he was like, yes, of course. Like for him, I mean, I've since like I've sponsored other men, and so like when someone asked me to sponsor, I'm like, oh my God, thank you, yes. But I mean, at that point I had no idea. And so he did, and what I did, I still didn't believe in God or a higher power or anything. I still didn't think it was going to work, but like I said, I had nothing better to do. And so I just put my faith, I guess, into this person and into this work that I had no idea. I had no conception what it was. Like before my first meeting, I didn't know what AA is, and then I thought I knew what, at that first meeting I thought I knew what AA was, but I still had no idea what AA was. I didn't even know I didn't know what AA was. I mean, AA is like a program. I mean, we have AA meetings, but that's just like one aspect of a much larger program that I was just completely had no couldn't conceive of that. And so my sponsor read the book with me, and people kept saying there's like concrete like steps you say that you just are written down, you just do, and the first few chapters I was really confused. I was like, no, this is just talking about God a lot, talking about alcoholism, which is good. I mean, it was really great, but I just didn't see like concrete steps to do. Or instructions. People kept talking about these instructions. I kept reading again because I was just willing to try it out, and I put my faith in this person to guide me. And it turns out there was instructions. There are instructions. And doing those instructions, step 4 is take inventory. That's, well, all of them. They're all have their own kernel of wisdom that is, my understanding is continually evolving of what that means and what that means to me like now. As my whole time being sober has been, it hasn't all been great. I mean, It's life. I mean, sometimes life isn't great. But I mean, it has been good. I mean, there are times that have been good, and certainly, independently if sometimes things might be bad, because that's life. I mean, my life without alcohol and with a program that helps me stay sober and not feel insane. I don't feel insane. Even if things are bad, I don't feel insane anymore. I just don't feel crazy. I mean, maybe I am, but I don't feel that way. It's just, I think it might say in the book or something, or I don't know, I heard it or something. It's a roadmap for living, or it's like a guide for living that really works. And it helps me when times are good. It helps me, keep the lid on so I don't, I don't know, go crazy in that way. But it also, when times are bad, it gives me the tools I need to just deal with life, because they are concrete instructions that are constantly evolving and changing. They're meeting what I do and how I do it, and what that means. I used to think there's not like a wrong way to do AA, right? I mean, it's like everyone has kind of their own conception of what it is. I mean, people try to say it's one thing, but I don't know. I mean, I do the big book and the stats, but there's other literature too that's really good, so that it's good to read. But when I was first getting sober, like my friend said this to me once, and who was in the program too. And at the time, I mean, I was listening. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but whatever. He's like, I think the only wrong way to do A is to not do it. I mean, and I guess there's like a bunch of ways to like not do it. You could just not do it at all, or you could just kind of like, I don't know, not do certain aspects of it. Because like I was saying before, there's like lots of different parts to program. There's service, or like participating in like doing the meetings. There's recovery, or like doing the steps. I don't know. There's like lots of different parts to it. So it's like you can't. I don't know. Because I'm saying this because I have not done it. Like, when I first came into the meetings, on fire with pain, just doing steps, sponsoring people, going to meetings, everything so great. And then, I don't know, I moved to Colombia in 2015, and here it's just like harder, the meetings are different, and like it's in Spanish, and it's weird because it's like Colombia and I'm from like the United States or whatever, and which is fine, but sometimes being foreign, I just don't like being foreign in these meetings. I just don't want that there. I mean, it's fine, but whatever. And you feel it, or I have felt it. It's just really easy for me to get caught in my own mind, and if I just like accept if I just like accept like the program, and accept the people, and accept that this is good for me, and maybe I don't want to do that, or I think I don't want to, but maybe like if I actually do it, it's better. It's really abstract. I'm like losing my train of thought. The point is, if I keep going to meetings, and if I keep doing steps, and if I keep talking to people, and I keep being honest with myself and with others, I don't feel insane. And if I don't, I feel insane, or I don't know it, but I'm insane. I'm driven by fear and anger. And I drink again, which happened a couple years ago. I had like 6 years sober. Not that matters. Like a day at a time. That's such good advice. Day at a time. And I drank again because I got away from the program, and I wasn't doing the things that maybe I should have been doing, and or whatever. Not should have been, but like there's things I know that I do that help me to stay sober and not feel insane, and because I don't feel insane, stay sober. And then if I'm not, I don't, and that happened. And I mean, again, by the grace of God, or by the grace of higher power, or whatever, I'm here again, and I'm with all of you. And these meetings are so good. These virtual meetings for me are so good. I'm like so far away from like my country, and being like with you in the fellowship, that's like another part of the meeting of AA. It's like I forgot, but like the fellowship, it's just like being with other people. Like I like being with the people I work with. They're all great people, but I mean, I'm not like them, and they don't understand me in the same way that a lot of you understand me, and that is helpful for me to, again, not help me feel so insane. So, and I just feel, and that it's just feeling grateful and being involved in the fellowship. And so, like, if you're new, I mean, I remember especially my first year, like I said, I went to Tuesday night young people's meeting. So like young people's AA is just really great. And it's talked a lot about in here, but there's lots of different conferences. I went to the New England conference of young people in AA. And it's like, if you have a question, like, what is that? I mean, it's a series of meetings over like and other events, and it's lots of like young people getting better and getting together and celebrating sobriety. And they're really good. And that really helped me. I just remember that whole year, 2011, I just felt so bad all the time and nothing was ever good. And that New Year's Eve at that New England like conference, young people, whatever, as I was falling asleep that night, I was like, maybe things aren't going to be so bad. And because up to that point, I'd still been doing the meetings and doing the steps, and it's just nothing was working. And then all of a sudden it was, in spite of the fact that I didn't think it was going to work, which is really a testament to the power of, I think, in my opinion, of like the 12 steps. Is like, I didn't think they were going to work. And in spite of that, I mean, I did it because I was willing and because I was so hopeless, which kind of has to do with maybe like the powerlessness of alcohol or something. But just because I had that willingness, in spite of the fact that I didn't think it was going to work, it still worked. And still continues to work and still continues to surprise me. Like, even today, like, I still discover new things, because, you read the big book or whatever, and, you can be like an expert, you can't, I don't know. But I still like not only am I still learning new things, I'm still making the same mistakes. I still don't pray and then feel like a bag of shit and then can't figure out why. Or like, I just like hate people and can't figure out why I'm so like unhappy. And it's like okay to make mistakes because we're human or whatever. But this is the beauty of this thing is, I don't drink alcohol. I don't feel the need to drink alcohol. I don't miss it. I don't want to go back to it. I'm grateful for feeling that way. And I try, because I have gotten away from it and have like, and have drank since coming in, like had a relapse or whatever. And now coming back again helps me remember that even if I don't want to do something, even if it's like, for me, it's 8:30 here, like 9 o'clock. It's like, I just want to read my book. I don't want to like go and do this thing. I still do it because it helps. It helps me live sober, and it helps me feel not crazy. I don't know. I feel good and I feel grateful, and thank you all for being here.